like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in the cage, I'ma let out the. Wake up, get out the sheets. We came for one man, forget my peace. You take the west side, take out the east.
I forgot you actually have to cut it.
All right, what are we doing today, son?
We're gonna go with a low temp, take it back, throw back, like back in the day.
Okay.
Some
Now,
small.
funny thing is, I only could work a little bit on the edges because I'm not doing any braids or nothing, so I just work on the sides, hit the back a little bit.
It's good.
I mean, I could always take it all the way off, though.
No.
So, I used to do this all the time with all 3 of his brothers. So it really became an economical thing because haircuts get expensive. I'm not touching that. Let's go. Yeah, lean back a little bit.
No, I'm saying you cutting my braids out.
No. That's just a little.
You trying to make me look like him.
Taking to the barber shop was getting sort of expensive. So, sorry about that.
Oh, wait, no. You gotta be more
Sorry. I can't be talking, I gotta focus.
Yeah, this is
So nevertheless,
like. This is why he stopped.
cutting, so I started doing a little high-speed cuts, and after a while, Mansoor, he didn't really like the way those ended up looking, and that's how he really started learning to cut his own hair.
So we used to just get like, these designs in our head, and that was like probably what he was best at. It's just like you could ask him whatever design you want, and you show up to school, with the new latest and greatest designs. So I think that was like my fondest memory of, my dad cutting my hair. It became bad when he used to say the haircut looked good after a week. He used to say, usually the haircuts was look good right after, but it would take a week for it to grow back, to come back into true form.
And again, 3 sons cutting their hair, you're doing it every other week after a while. So before I would cut it, I would just take it all down to one level, and then I would tell them, don't worry, another week is gonna grow back anyways. So they were called the 1-week haircuts. Like they'll look good in a week or so. At the time, it was during like kid and play, so everybody had the high top fades, and it really wasn't too difficult because everybody just had a bold lineup. So just had the confidence to sort of get in there and sort of make it look like what we saw on TV.
My dad would usually work, a lot. So I think it was one day he probably had something to do, wanted to look good. So I just was like, man, I'm the only one here. So I went home and grabbed the clippers, and I just, it looked bad the first time, but the thing about cutting is you just learn with experience. So you just keep cutting and cutting, go through trials and tribulations, and after a while it becomes easy.
It actually wasn't bad. He actually had the gift, because really, again, I would only cut it in one phase, meaning that it would be hair and then it would just be bald, right? But he actually had the thing called blending, and he would blend it to look sort of gradually into a bald state, which was always sort of impressive.
Sure, I was really always like good at art, and I feel like cutting hair is another form of art. I used to do like pastel things and just like painting and tracing. So like I think cutting hair was like, it's like a form of art to me. So I think I was intrigued with that. And then I realized that clearly my dad wasn't good at art. So to me.
But that's not true. I was good at art. I was very good at art. I just,
he was
again.
Good. He was good. He was good. It was just over time, as the years went on, probably 10 plus years, he got a little lazy with the cuts. The little zzz, next.
Yeah.
So,
again,
but now when we was younger though, we used to get really good haircuts.
Yeah. So again, the haircuts that I used to do for them would be whatever current football number they were wearing. So I'll put their football number in their hair. If it was Mansoor, he always had like an M with like lightning bolts on the side. So obviously it was like they were well known in the neighborhood as like, what kind of haircut is he coming back with this year or this week? And we would really just change it up all the time. I think Soar probably fired me maybe, what was that?
Probably high school.
Ninth grade?
Yeah,
about ninth grade. Yeah.
I ain't firing him. It just got to a point
like,
like,
because this is the sound right here, right? Let me show. If you don't know. when you hear that sound, people are getting cut, you know what I mean? So, and then, so when it was Soar's time, he wouldn't show up to this.
It was always 3 boys, so my little brother Fahim and me and my older brother. And we used to always say whoever got the last cut. By that time, my dad was tired, so, you ain't want to go last in order. So either first cut, it was looking all nice. Second cut is, if you was too late to the third cut, you might as well just wait it out till he got arrested. So that's really what it was. So we got.
Come on, man, it was crispy.
He doing the hairline.
No, I'm not touching the hairline.
No,
so
we
now
getting
the
up.
hairline
Hold on.
becomes the biggest thing. Come on, I'm not touching the hairline.
Don't even touch that.
No, I'm just getting it. It looks good.
No, it don't. You just need to go
But
ahead.
you're going back a little bit. How old are you now?
Yeah, just go ahead and just act like you lining it up. Don't even touch it.
Everybody's so particular about the hairlines. And now hair just becomes such an expression now. And, for you to convey what you want to me to express in your haircut, sometimes I might miss the mark. Because I'm thinking, especially when the boys started getting into like the highlights and stuff like that. I mean, I was out really, I sort of checked out after that.
Yeah, that was the Odell era. He ain't like
Odell.
He ain't like the blonde tips.
Yeah.
But we started to dabble in everything, and I think that's when he kind of got washed out his time period, It's really just me, but I gotta say like big days, I say like big events, like obviously the draft or something like maybe like my wedding. I don't know, those are key essential moments you might need to just go barbershop.
Nah, let me do the wedding. I would like to do the wedding.
Nah, you could do the, I don't know.
Yeah, let me do the wedding. I think that'd be a nice one.
You could do the grandchildren, tear them all up, like you did me. It just instills like, I think key, attributes in me, just like I think a level of confidence too. Knowing that, I've had someone who's, been there for me and showed me the ropes of life. So, when I go out into the own world, when I go out to Kansas City, I'm a confident person because, I feel like I've learned from the best. And, I feel I just want to keep that for the next generation, for my kids and whatnot. So,
I think it's important. I mean, this is part of parenting. Being close to your children, seeing them in different elements. And then obviously, as a parent, your responsibility is to sort of take care of your children. And this is just one of the, it's cosmetic, but it's just even taking care of them in that way as well. So, it was actually pretty cool because usually they would fall asleep as I was cutting their hair. So at that moment when they're about to sort of drop off, they're probably the most honest as well. So I will hit them with questions like, how is schoolwork going and stuff like that. Yeah, but for Mansoor in particular, just really what he has always done, just the confidence, the confidence to cut your own hair, because obviously, you're the one who has to wear it, so for him to even take that leap to start doing it and cutting his own hair was a testament to the kind of personality he always rocked with.
Before NIL was really a thing in college, I was cutting my teammates' hair and taking those $20, going to Chipotle. That's how I was surviving. So, not surviving, but that's how I was making my little living. But obviously when NIL became more a factor, I was like, yeah, I don't really want these $20 anymore. And it kind of was, I don't know, it took time too. So cleaning up everybody's hair and whatnot and coming over the crib. So I just stopped doing that. But I still cut my older brother's hair and my brother-in-law's hair and whatnot. So if you need a cut, I still got you. Oh, no, I think I got to make some more plays first. They got to trust me a little more. But definitely down the road, like I said, you would get to camp, obviously, everybody doesn't have access to barbershops or whatnot, so I might come in handy, so we're gonna see.
Cutting someone's hair, you gotta have some trust. And several times when I was growing up, you go to the barber and the barbershop, and one guy would have a chair completely free. And there'll be a line of people, but nobody would sit in this individual's chair, just because you have to build that trust. So when you actually have that trust to cut somebody's hair, they'll walk around looking pretty scary for the whole week until you're available to get the haircut. So it was actually really cool to see him sort of have a lot of trust within his college, teammates and stuff.
I think the biggest thing is people are afraid, to take that first step. So I think, like I said, I just had the confidence to take my first step because I sat in the chair, for so long and I seen how it was done. My dad could do it, I could do it. So then I think, passing that on to my next generation where they see me cutting their hair, I think it'll be great, knowing they can get their hair cut whenever they want. Nah, yeah, I'll be bleeding or something by now, so I'll be good. If I'm not bleeding, I'll give it an A. It's nice, it's nice. It's definitely all you need, just a little cleanup, nothing crazy. Nah, but actually this is, he might come back out of retirement, It's pleasant, I like what I see, so. He get a good solid A for me today.
As long as I could do the cut within 10 minutes, I'm good.